right? Give me the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32, right? Go ahead, King. Because, hey, and while our people is sitting here going in there, they got ham on sale, right? They got booty noodles on sale, right? They got all this wicked stuff on sale. We don't even realize that it's destroying our people. How you doing, brother? Hey, beautiful build, man, right? Hey, and this is wicked, man. Look at that.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And it reads, and you shall know the truth.
What did he say?
You shall know the truth.
One more time.
You shall know the truth. And the truth shall make you free.
And the truth will make you free, man. Right? The truth is going to make you free to understand that your enemy is giving you all these obstacles, right? Your enemy is putting all these stumbling blocks in front of you. So that way you can't get to be in a better place. That you can't get the salvation the Most High set upon you. That you can't get the kingdom, which is actually a literal place, a new heaven and a new earth. Right? Bring this out, King.
This is a book called Holiday Hustle by Frank Zaquan Jordan, and entitled Thanksgiving. Chapter 1, it says, the story Thanksgiving that were taught through the account and eyes of society, pastors, parents, and schools in very heartwarming accounts of history, whereas English and Dutch pilgrims set out journey to Americas. Once they embarked upon this strange land, now titled America, they came peacefully, made friends with the natives of the land, and planted a bountiful 3-day feast and harvesting 1621, celebrating the first harvest since the Puritan separatists docked at Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Hey, and that's crazy because it said they came in peace, right? But yeah, hey, we're gonna get into some other precepts to show you that after they came in peace, what they did, right? But they came and they presented themselves as heartwarming people, as people that wanted to be friendly, right? But then we'll see what happened after that, man. Keep going, King.
By the time the Mayflower landed in mid-winter of North America coast, the original native people of this stretch of shoreline has already been killed off 1614 when a British expedition landed here.
Hey, so watch this. Give me the book of Psalm chapter 55 and verse 11 real quick. Right? Because, hey, we gotta match up the precepts of the Bible to what this was saying. And how you doing, sis? Hey, you got 2 seconds so I can show you a little of your history? We got a little bit of history that we showing our people. Real quick, sis. Watch read this.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 11. Wickedness is in the midst thereof, deceit and guile. Depart not from her streets.
That's 55 and 11?
55 and 11.
For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it.
It's 45 and 11? 49. No. I'm talking about they were reaching their hands out. 55 and 20. Try 20.
Yep, that's it right there.
He had put forth his hand against such.
I call it book and chapter. Book and verse.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Hey, because he said they came over, they was friendly. Right? Read that part again.
It reads, once they embarked a strange, Salaki, it says, history where English and Dutch pilgrims settled journey to the Americas. Once they embarked upon the strange land now titled America, they came peacefully, made friends with the natives of the land, and planted a bountiful 3-day feast and harvesting in 1621. Celebrating the first harvest since the Puritan separatists docked in Plymouth, Massachusetts. By the time the Mayflower landed in mid-winter of North America coast, the original native people of this stretch of the shoreline has already been killed off. In 1614 when the British expedition landed here.
Hey, and he said already been killed off, man. Right? But yet, because they literally went to a very long stretch to really execute everything, right? So you got the turkey actually represents the carcasses of the actual Native Americans.
Right.
Then you got the cranberry sauce represents the blood. The stuffing represents the guts. So they really went to a far stretch to really show you every piece of what this massacre was. And this is the scripture that comes with it. Go ahead, King.
He that put forth his hand,
Book and verse with it. Book, chapter, verse.
Psalm chapter 55 and verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be with peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
He have did what?
He had broken his covenant.
So I don't know if everybody knows, but hey, there was over 500 laws and covenants, right? Because laws are binding agreements between the Native Americans and the Puritans and the British. They're saying that, hey, look, we're not going to embark on your land. You guys gave us this land, so we're gonna deal with the land you gave us, and we're gonna leave you guys in peace. But no, he said they stretched forth their hands and they broke all their covenants. Can you read?
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Or what?
Were smoother than butter.
So we love it.
They were smoother than butter.
And that's what he read in the first verse, in the first paragraph. That and they came over and they were loving and they were kind. Right. Their words were smoother than butter, but what happened?
But war was in his heart.
No, they loved the Native Americans.
But war was in his heart.
They gave him hugs and kisses.
But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil. Yet, when they draw a sword,
What they doing? What?
will draw a sword.
And a sword is just any modern day weapon of war, man. Any modern day weapon of destruction. Because back then they used a sword, catapults, and arrows to kill. So a sword is just any means of death. Right? So they literally were shooting muskets and cannons, man, and destroying your Native American family members. Right. But yet you're going to keep this wicked day, and you're going to say, oh, well, it's the only day me and my family get together. Right. Well, get together another day. Right. You got 364 other days, man. Right, keep going, King.
Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved.
You shall not?
He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved.
We're trying to tell you to come back to your heritage, man. Because you're keeping the days that your enemy keeping. Right then next after that, you're going to do Black Friday. Black Friday was the day that they actually sold 12 slaves for the price of one, man. Right. You got a discount for 12 slaves for the price of one. Why? Because they had some type of ailment. Whether their foot got cut off, their head got cut off, their arm got cut off. Right. Something was wrong with them. Right. So they gave you a Black Friday deal. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? See? A lot of people don't know that, man. What's your nationality? What's your nationality? See? Don't even know. If you're so-called Black, Latino, Native American, you would be a biblical Israelite. Right. Right? A little bit more on that.
But thou, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction.
What are you going to do?
Bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days.
Hey, he said they're not going to live half their days, man. Hey, all praises to the Most High, because, hey, it's got to be a righteous judgment. Keep going, King.
Khan, when they had sailed back home to England, they took more than 100 Indians as slaves, leaving them with smallpox as well. This plague wiped out between 90 to 96% of the inhabitants. In 3 years, destroying most native Indian villages completely. When the Pilgrims arrived in 1620, they were very unprepared for the winter weather, as many died. Pilgrims dug up native Indian graves and robbed and vandalized their graves for dishes, pots, stole their crops, robbed their stores, hunt for food, and took many of the Indians' native prisoners. They found only one living Patuit Indian, a man named Sesto, who was surviving his slavery in England. Squato had taught the Pilgrims how to grow corn, learn to fish, and taught them a survival technique.
Ain't that something, though? Ain't that something that you go and you help somebody learn how to live off the land, that's your land, first of all, that you were nice in, because actually they were keeping the law. Right. When a stranger comes and to join with you, you're supposed to show them hospitality. Ain't that how you do when somebody come in your home? But yeah, hey, that's what happened. And then now y'all are going out here and y'all keeping these wicked feast days, man. Right? Go ahead, King.
Khan, the only Native American Indian who attended the Pilgrim Thanksgiving in 1637 were the Pequots, taken captive during a very violent raid that preceded it. On May 26, 1637, at least 700 of tribe estimated 8,000 members were slaughtered by Caucasian English settlers from 4 colonies and their native allies, this became known as the Pequot Massacre.
As the Peacock Massacre, man. Right? Hey, and that's wicked. Because, hey, and then y'all gonna sit here and y'all gonna keep this peace. Right? Real quick, give me the book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 2. Right? Acts 5 and 2. Right? Because, hey, at the end of the day, man, hey, we gotta bring out what the Lord said. 5 and 2, right? 5 and 2. Yeah, Acts 5 and 2. Amos 5 and 21. Salaki. Right? Because, hey, we gotta let our people know, man.
Right.
And how you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? Over there, you got 2 seconds to come dialogue with your brother? Right? Bring this out, please.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days.
What did God say?
I despise your feast days.
One more time.
I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though he offered me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take down away from me the noise of thy song, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. But let judgment run down as waters.
What did he say?
Let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream.
Hey, and what he's going into, right, is because we say that we love God, but yet we're keeping every pagan holiday underneath the sun. Right? And we don't understand that all these holidays are literally pagan, man. So literally, we're worshiping a God, but what God are you worshiping, man? Right, real quick before we go back to this, give me the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. Right, 1 Corinthians 4 and 3, it might be 2 Corinthians, right? Because, hey, you got to remember that everything we're doing, we're either doing it to the God of heaven, or we're doing it to a God that you don't want to give it to, man. Right, 1 Corinthians 4 and 3, let me see. So 2 Corinthians 4 and 3, right? Because you gotta understand, everything we do, we're worshiping a God.
Right.
But what God are you worshiping?
Right.
Are you worshiping the God of heaven?
Right.
Or are you worshiping the God of this world, man? Right? Bring that out, King.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid,
So if the gospel of God be hid, what is it hid to?
it is hid to them that are lost.
To him that are what?
To them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Which believe not. Give me the book of Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3, and then we're going to get back to the book, man. Because, hey, you got to understand, he said, if those that don't know is them that are lost, right? Because the gospel is hid, man. Because this wicked place has did a great job at being wicked, man. Now, hiding things and saying it's okay for you to eat whatever. It's okay for you to worship whatever. It's okay for you to keep whatever holiday that they tell you though. But not the Bible. The Bible didn't tell you that. Right? Bring this out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3.
Right.
The ox knoweth his owner, and his ass his master's crib. But Israel,
who? One more time.
But Israel does not know. My people do not consider.
And the Most High said, my people don't consider. You don't consider the days that the Most High gave us. You don't consider that he gave us our own set of high holy days. But yet we're going to keep these wicked days, and we're gonna pray over an abominable food and ask God to bless us.
Right.
Now, how you doing, brother? Getting in the car. How you doing, brother? Hey, bro, you got 2 seconds? Real quick before you go in? Real quick, bro. I just want to, I'll let you real quick. All right. Hey, bro, I'm going to hold you to that, brother. God, all praises, bro. Bring this out.
This is called the First Thanksgiving, and it's by Jean Leon Ferris. And it says, those who survived the attacks were sold into slavery. And with hundreds, if not thousands of Pequot slaughtered and murdered, the governor Bradley deemed it appropriate to call for Thanksgiving to celebrate their victory.
To celebrate their what?
To celebrate their victory.
Hey, do you know that, y'all know that Thanksgiving is really for the celebration of the death of the Indians? Right? Nobody knows that. Everybody forget it, right? Hey, give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7 real quick. Real quick, we're going to get back to this, man. Because that's why God kept telling us over and over again. Right? That don't forget what happened, man. It's the reason why they're trying to get you to forget these things. Because it relates to you in some way. Bring this out, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old.
It's been a long time ago.
Remember the days of old.
That's some old, brother.
Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations.
And look, and Salaki King, and that's the reason why the Most High divided. Because he knew that if we let these devils in, he knew what he made them for. So people were like, oh, they're wicked, they're kind of evil. No, the Most High made them this way. Right. And if we'd have just stayed in our lane, instead of saying, oh, no, separate but equal. Right. No, we want to say, no, together. What did Martin Luther King say? Let's join hand in hand and enjoy ourselves with the heathens. Right. No, we should have stayed separate and been equal, man. Right? I divided the land. Finish that a little bit up.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
When he did what?
He separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
See, and he said he separated them for the number of the children of Israel. Bring this out here.
Khan, in essence, the Thanksgiving that we know today has its origin in ethnic blood cleansing of the Pequot Indians.
And he said he got it from the ethnic blood cleansing of the Pequot Indians, man. Go ahead.
The English, following the siege, even called for the name Pequot to be outlawed, and today there are only about 1,500 surviving members of the tribe. They stole and seized the land from the natives, capturing strong young native Indians for slaves and killing the rest. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought in 1637.
1637, man, right? Right? Hey, give me the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Right? Because, hey, this is why the Most High say, hey, look, stay away from all these other nations, man. If you're not a so-called Black, Latino, or Native American, you shouldn't be dealing with the other nations, man. Right? We know that we got to go to work for them. We know that we got to go and deal with them in the grocery stores. We know we got to deal with them from a face-to-face, and when we go into like restaurants and things of that nature. Yes, be cordial and be peaceable unto all men according to Romans. But when it comes to, hey, hanging out with them, inviting them over your house, right? Let's see what the Bible gives us wise instruction on.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust our enemy.
You know, the Pequot Indian can invite them over and hang out with them.
Never trust our enemy.
No, they didn't kill over 1,200. There's more than 1,200 Pequot Indians still alive.
Never trust our enemies. For as like iron rust, so is his wickedness.
So is his what?
So is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if he does wipe the looking glass. I'm gonna read that again. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath all been together wiped away.
And he said all together, right? It has not been wiped away, man. Right? Because the Most High know that, hey, if somebody got wickedness in their heart, they just wicked. Right. It ain't no way around it. Right. It's not all of a sudden you're wicked, and then you're going to all of a sudden just magically turn righteous. Because the Most High said, what I made crooked can never be straight, man. Can never be upright. Right? So bring this out here.
Going back to the original origins of Thanksgiving, the sad reality about the United States is, in a matter of a few hundred years, it yet managed to deceive and rewrite its very own history in a mythological fantasy.
Hey sis, how y'all doing, sis? Hey, y'all got 2 seconds so I can show y'all a little history? Just a little bit. Just a little small bit of history. All right, I'm gonna hold you to it, sis. Right, King?
Con, with the deception concept of liberty and justice for all.
And liberty is, hey, look, hey, everybody's free. Everybody got the freedom. He said with liberty and justice for all. Let's see if the Native Americans got justice on this day.
And land of the free concept, but in all actuality, the United States was truly founded and became prosperous based on the historical underline and facts of the mass slaughter and murder of the North American Indians.
Hey, how you doing, bro? You gonna come and deal with your brother real quick? real quick, bro. Our praises, man. Right? So we up here breaking down what they did to our people. We up here breaking down what they did to our people because look, they beguiled us, bro. And I don't know if you know, but you know the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American is one nation of people, and they divided us and said that we're all different nations of people. And it's crazy though because they literally got us celebrating the days we was killed, like Black Friday. I don't know if you heard when you was going in, but Black Friday literally is them giving a discount of 12 injured slaves for the price of one healthy slave. But now they tricked it and they flipped it. So now they put it on products out of a store instead of our people. Ain't that wicked as hell? And you can literally look it up like Black Friday back in slavery and it'll pop it up and it'll show you. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's crazy though. So hey, bro, we here to let our people know that hey, we the Israelites, bro, and that we literally gotta stop feeding their pockets on their days, because really their holidays or their so-called holidays, they're just only generating days for money. You know what I'm saying? So we can go out and spend all our money to make them richer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop it because, look, I don't know if you know, but so-called blacks are the #1 consumer of products in the world. We consume over 70% of all products in the world. Right. So literally, we can make this world go bankrupt just by one nation of people, man. Right? And we got to use our power, man. We got to use our buying power against them. Right. And if we spend money in our own community, that's why they had to bomb Tulsa, Oklahoma, Wilmington, and Durham. Because when we were spending money only in our communities, we were rich. We were some of the richest communities across the whole world. So they hated that they had to destroy us, bro. So remember that, bro. I'll praise you, bro. We love you, King. Granted.
Back to the original origin of Thanksgiving, with the deception concept of liberty and justice for all, and the land of the free concept, both in all actualities, the United States was truly founded and became prosperous based on the historical underline and facts of the mass slaughter and murder of the North American Indians, the theft of their land by Caucasian European colonists, also by the grim and brutal slavery of Native Indians and black Hebrew slaves.
And black Hebrew slaves, because they want to let you think that it was just Native Americans or just so-called blacks, or the famous term we always say, Africans selling Africans, right, or blacks selling blacks. No, it was Africans selling Israelites. When you get to the proper term of what nation sold what nation, it was Africans selling Israelites, man. That's the reason why Africans coming over here still to this day in drones, and they're not getting done the way we're getting done. They're getting companies, they're getting enterprises, they're getting LLCs, and they're getting great business loans. While when we open up a business, we got to kind of scrape up our own money. We got to kind of get our own thing going. Right? They'll give us the license, but they won't give us the loans we need with the license. Right. We got to have already something behind it to have the money to be able to get the money, so that way if we don't, the collateral is right in our house, in our car, in everything that we own, right? Keep going, King.
Con, in rewriting its own history about Thanksgiving, white America will teach students and tell this story as it were a Disney-like fairy tale.
As it what?
A Disney-like fairy tale.
Because, hey, who talks about Thanksgiving anymore? Nobody talks about Thanksgiving. Every time you think about Thanksgiving, you think about turkey, you think about dressing, you think about cranberry sauce, or green beans, or greens, and then the last thing you think about is football, right? American football. Those are your thoughts when you think about American Thanksgiving, right? Keep going, King.
Con, Winthrop, Governor Winthrop ordered the massacre of thousands of men and women, native, and enslaved them. This event marked the start of the Native American genocide that would take slightly more than over 200 years to accomplish, and of course, to achieve its ultimate goal, which was not only to manipulate, steer their land, and systematically enslave and diminish their resources, but to totally have an entire nation totally dependent on European system.
And that's what's happening right now. Right, because right now, if they close Food Lion, if they close Walmart, if they close Target, if they close Larry's, if they close all the grocery stores right now, how many people right now hearing under the sound of my voice can go out and plant their own farm and raise their own livestock and independently keep their whole family and household living. I'll wait. If anybody want to raise their hand, I don't think so. Right, because right now they want us to be dependent on this system, right? Right, and that's where they get us, where they got us. Now you can eat the other white meat, which is pork.
Right.
Now you can eat raccoon. Now you can eat squirrel. Now you can eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. Because now they've told you that all you got to do is pray to the God of this earth,
right,
which is in 2 Corinthians 4:3.
Right.
Hey, and it'll be totally clean.
Right.
But yet when we go in the Bible, and a matter of fact, let's just say we just step aside from the Bible. If you go to your doctor and you're going through health issues, the first thing he's going to tell you is cut out the pork, shrimp, lobster, and crab, which is dirty eating, man.
Yep.
So why would the doctor, where did the doctor get that information from?
Right.
Oh, because it was in the Bible the whole time, man.
Right.
How you doing, brother? How you doing today, bro? Hey, you'll be an Israelite, never forget that. Keep going again.
Con, it says not only did the European settlers create a debt system for the natives, but even more so created and instilled a fear of European white supremacy through waging war with mass and advanced weapons, forcing their own self-image idols for mind control for the future generations of slaves.
Hey, but did you just see what it said? See, y'all only know about the hoods back in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s. It literally said that they masked themselves up against the Native Americans too, right? So that way that they can put massive fear on them. Just the way we do. When you get pulled over, tell me your heart don't start racing. You ain't got no warrant. You ain't got no felonies. Your record's totally clean. You ain't got nothing wrong in the car. Yet your heart races. How you doing, sis? Hey, sis, you got 2 seconds real quick? Real quick, come on, sis. It's gonna still be in there. Right? Hey, and that's the thing though. Because they know that we're the same people. How many people knew that the Native Americans were into slavery?
Right.
Right? They didn't tell you that either, did they?
Right.
But see, these are the history pieces that have been pulled away. Because if you knew all the history, you might link it up. How you doing, brother, in the red hat? And you got 2 seconds in the red hat? 2 seconds, brother. And you'll be an Israelite, man. Research that, never forget it. You know what I'm saying?
Con, the genocide begun in 1637 marks the beginning of the conquest of the entire continent until most of the Native Americans, Indians, were almost completely exterminated.
Hey, do that remind you of somebody? Do that remind you of the so-called blacks? Does that remind you of them that were almost completely exterminated? Bring it up here.
A few were assimilated into white society, and the rest were forced and put on reservations to dwindle and die.
Hey, and if you start looking at the ones that actually got the are getting the kickback, right? Are getting the money from the government, those kind of assimilated in. How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? Just got out that truck. How you doing, brother? See? Our people don't want to do, ain't got nothing but wicked turkey on your mind, man. Right? The carcass of their forefathers. I guarantee you, you don't have the so-called, you ain't got the so-called Israelis. I guarantee you they're not glorifying and celebrating the Holocaust. I guarantee you they're not. I guarantee you they're not going out and getting no turkeys, no ham, and celebrating that day. Right? But we always celebrate days that insinuate our death. And how you doing, sis? You got 2 seconds, sis, real quick. You ain't got 2 seconds, sis? Come on, sis. Come on, bro. Ah, man. Hey, y'all possibly Israelites, man. Right? Y'all got to put the pagan days down. Keep reading, King.
Con, this is going into the European and Spanish colonists, John Winthrop and Christopher Columbus. It's going into soccer. The internationally known sport soccer was patterned and inspired from John Winthrop and Christopher Columbus. The English and Dutch settlers celebrated their victories by kicking the several heads of Indian chiefs through the streets of New England and Massachusetts.
Hey, and it's crazy, right? That's crazy, right?
Now that's how they created soccer, by kicking the heads of the natives. Imagine that. They cut the head off, and then they call it soccer today, where they kick the heads of the Native Americans and Seminole Indians, you know.
And that's crazy. But yeah, we're glorifying this, man. And how you glorifying it? Because when you're having the solemn feast, right, you're actually you're partaking in the feast of what killed, raped, robbed, and murdered your people, man. Like, give me the book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse 4. 6 and verse 7. Right? Because, hey, how you doing, sis? How you doing, sis, with the white bag in your hand? Hey, sis, you got 2 seconds? 2 seconds? Come on, sis. Really? Hey, you gotta put this pagan day down there, sis. That's how our message is. Right? You right there?
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked.
So we said don't be deceived, because all the holidays that America promotes are all pagan. So if we love God and we say we love God, we have to keep the high holy days. We have to keep Passover, the Feast of Dedication, right? We have to keep all these high holy days, the Pentecost, right? Not the day that was the rape, rob, and murder of the Native Americans, because those are your forefathers, right? Go ahead, King.
Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Hey, so when he said that, hey, they were kicking the head of the Native Americans, guess what's going to happen when the Most High God gives that spiritual goal? When he gives us that spiritual green light, hey, there's going to be some heads getting kicked around, man. Right? It's going to be some babies getting dashed according to this sign. It's going to be some people put on fire according to this sign. It's going to get some people getting hung according to this sign. Right? Go ahead.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
And that's it, man. Right? So, hey, we got to get rid of these pagan days, man. Right? We'll get a little bit more, and I'm going to give it to the next mighty speaker, man. Right, King?
Con, this is white colonists terrorized by natives. The early 1600s were a horrible time for tribes near Wirramoko. Native tribes, once comfortable wearing clothing suitable for warmer seasons, found themselves being targeted by Caucasian European colonists, sand settlers, for sexual assault and forcible rape on many occasions.
On many occasions, man. Right? They were literally going in, hey, rape, robbing, and murder, man. That's why Jesus came and said, the enemy come to kill, steal, and destroy. Right? Because he knows that when the men enter the woman, that actual ethnicity is destroyed, man. Right? Keep going to.
Come. Young children, male and female, were targeted or raped. The native women and tribe would resort to offering themselves to men to keep their children safe. The Politan people were shocked by the behavior and were horrified that the English government offered them no protection. What? The English government offered them no protection.
But they said we're all equal, though. They said we're all equal. How is it that you're all equal, but yet certain people get away with certain things, man? Like, give me the book of Zechariah, chapter 13 and verse 7, man. Right? Because we're going to find out through the scriptures, man, is everybody equal? Right. Because if everybody's equal, then that means, like that just said, that hey, if somebody do something, then we're all going to come with and get the same punishment, man. All praises. How you doing, brother? All praises, man. So we're literally teaching our people what this day really is, right? Because, you know, as they actually lift up this day, and we, you know, of course, we've been taught that this day is a great time, a time of Thanksgiving, right? A time of being happy with family, right? But can I ask you, what is your God-given nationality? Like, what was your father's nationality? Israel. The Israel, all praises to this brother, no, man. So you know what this day is, don't you? You know what this day is. And it's crazy, though, ain't it? Because they promote this day, and our people are going in and they celebrate, and they don't understand. And when you celebrate this day, you're actually promoting what the people that did on this day did. Right? And it's crazy, bro. That's all praises, man. Right? Hey, you got a congregation or anything?
I don't.
Hey, you got a card, bro, with you? You got a card? Bro gonna give you all our information. Right? We're just reading a little bit of history on what happened on this day. And how this day came about. Because then the next day after this, and I was bringing it out earlier before you came, is Black Friday. Black Friday literally is the selling of 12 slaves that were injured. They tried to run or whatever it may be. They got a foot cut off, an arm cut off. You know about that information? So Black Friday came about because, like, you know, like the slave tried to run away, they would cut like half their foot off or half a leg off or whatever it may be, the toes or whatever. Or if they were stealing or touched a woman or whatever it may be, they cut their hand off. So what they did was they would give you 12 injured slaves for the price of one healthy slave. And they normally conducted this business on Friday. So then the term Black Friday was actually invented. And then fast forwarding now they made it into products, but we already know that slaves were actually considered products in the Constitution. They were not like a human being or a man, they were actually a product, or what you would say, right? So we're gonna read a little bit more of this though, this history. In this book is Frank Jordan. This man actually is an elder in the city. He actually published his book. So we can give you all that information about all his books. He got like about 8 or 10 books. Well, listen to this history.
This is the origins of Thanksgiving. In rewriting his own history about Thanksgiving, white America will teach students and tell this story as if it were a Disney-like fairy tale, with much to do about the English pilgrims and their struggle to survive in a new harsh environment, harvesting the new land and sat peaceably with the natives and ate turkey every day. Nothing can be further from the truth. Unfortunately, for the native Indians, the European settlers' gratitude was short-lived. By 1637, not only did Governor Winthrop order the massacre of thousands of men and women native enslaved them, this event marked the start of North America genocide that would take slightly more than over 200 years to accomplish, and of course, to achieve its ultimate goal, which was not only to manipulate, steal their land, and systematically enslave and diminish their resources, but to totally have an entire nation totally dependent on the European system. Not only did the European settlers create this debt system for the native, but even more so created and instilled fear of the European white supremacy through waging war with mass and advanced weapons, forcing their own image idols for mind control for future generations of slaves.
Future generations of slaves. And now, and you already know because you already know who you are, so you know that's where that image of Christ came from, right? Then, not only that, but there was over 500 different treaties and different things that they said they were gonna do that they literally broke. And that's where the Bible in Psalms, it actually prophesied. Bring this out. We brought this out earlier when we bring it out again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 12. For it was not an enemy that reproached.
Verse 20.
Verse 20. This is verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Because when he came over, the Native Americans were at peace with him. Because the law told us that anybody that came into our land, that we had to be at peace with the visitors, right? With those that we didn't know, right? But he said there was a such that would be at peace with them. Go ahead.
He had broken his covenant.
Yeah, then what?
He had broken his covenant.
A covenant is a treaty or binding agreement, right? He had broken all his covenants. Go ahead.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Oh, we come in peace. We just only want that piece of land. Can you show us? Because we came from our land and we just trying to get away from those that were doing us wrong. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
Well, what did he say?
But war was in his heart.
And that's what he was saying. They took him to slavery, right? They tried to destroy them. They tried to take over their land. War was in their heart. Go ahead.
His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn sword.
Were they what?
Drawn sword.
We know a sword is just any type of weapon of mass destruction, right? Is that it on that, verse 20? Yep, see? So, and that's really talking about, you know, the so-called European, man. Right? Because the Most High said, his spirit is not upright in him.
Right.
So how can he do righteously when the Most High made him not to be righteous? It ain't no way. Everybody, when the Most High, in Genesis, when he said, my work was complete, right? He said, and I rested. That means the wicked of the world was there, the righteous of the world was there, the clean foods, the unclean foods, everything was there. So God made everything perfect in his way, right? So how could it?
Just like when he hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Like he hardened Pharaoh's heart.
He had to do that in order to get our people to understand.
Right? Hey, absolutely. Right? A matter of fact, Hey, go ahead.
This is this peace treaty, the broken peace treaties from 1778 to 1871. The United States federal government tried to resolve its relationship with the various native tribes by negotiating treaties. In each of hundreds of treaties, over 370 to be exact, there was none kept.
There was none kept, and that was what we just brought out. Right? Bring out says, as you lift up Pharaoh, like right up in here. 9 and 1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 17. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
That's why the Most High is really lifting up America, right? Because like you said, just like the Pharaoh, he lifted Pharaoh up. He said he lifted America up the same way. He letting them think like, oh, we're so mighty, nobody can stop us. But we know literally that they're the descendant of Esau, and literally they're really the descendant of Cain. Because he said he's going to protect Cain. He said, anybody come to Cain,
Right.
he said, I'm going to pay you back sevenfold.
That's right.
So he literally is the spirit of Cain because he's protecting that spirit. Until he accomplished what he set to accomplish, he has to let that spirit reign free and do the destruction that he wanted to do.
Hey, okay.
Right.
And
God.
that's why Nat Turner got that judgment.
God, because
he,
one time.
He wasn't that time yet.
When that
You know what I'm
time.
saying? And it's still
We gotta
not
do-
time yet. even
We
right
got to
now.
do what the Most High said.
Right.
Right? So we're going to get you some more of this. Hey, go back here. Watch this.
Khan, this is Thanksgiving, 1637. But as the word continued to spread in England about the paradise and gold to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by the boatload, finding that the native Indians had no fence around their land. They considered it to be public domain. Joined by the British settlers, they stole and seized the land from the natives, capturing strong young native Indians for slaves and killing the rest.
And that's crazy because a lot of people don't even know that the Native Americans were slaves. Like I was bringing that out earlier when you came. Everybody think, oh, it was just only the blacks. But what about the Native Americans, man? Right? Native Americans and the Hispanic, they went into captivity 1650, right? So how is it that they went into captivity? And that's why they don't really bring that up in the history books, because they know if our people saw all that captivity between the Native Americans, the Hispanic, and the so-called blacks, they might start putting a puzzle together like, wait a minute, they went into captivity, we went into captivity, they went into captivity? Hey,
Our brother Gad.
oh, yup, Khan,
Yep.
yup. What's your nationality, King? You said you Judah?
Judah.
Khan,
All
bro.
praises. All praises.
bro. Right, bring this up.
Khan, bloodshed was the most consistent theme of the first Thanksgiving in the New World.
In the what?
In the New World.
He said bloodshed was the most consistent thing, and it's still happening though.
Right now.
Right? It's still happening, right? Go ahead.
An English privateer named John Winthrop was killed by allies of the Pequot in retaliation for an attack that killed the Pequot chief. Tommelben, and the misguided counterattack, two colonial officers led several hundred men to Pequot settlement, which would be known today as Connecticut, and ordered them to burn 100% of all housing, and 8 to 10,000 Pequot Indians, shootings, and stabbings happened there.
And let me ask you this question real quick. Right? Why do you think they burned everything down?
Burn everything down.
Yeah, because he said they ordered them to burn everything down in that Pequot like environment, as far as their neighborhoods and everything. So my question is, why do you think they burned everything down? Because think about it. If you don't have anything of your heritage to bring to your young ones, to pass down, then that heritage dies right there.
That's right.
That's the reason why God, when he used to always send us out to destroy a nation, he would have us to burn everything down, man.
Right.
Right? How you doing, brother? You got 2 seconds for some history?
I am history.
Oh, you are history?
I'm the inception of civilization.
You're the inception of civilization?
Yes.
You may be. You may be. You may be. Can I ask you a question? Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back when you're done.
I'm the inception of everything.
All praises. Come back when you're done. Come back when you're done. Right? I love dialogue with our people. But it's like the reason why they said to burn everything down is because if we burn everything down, then there would be nothing to recognize your heritage. And that's the reason why, if you think about it, when they went and conquered any nation, they destroyed everything. But they got a lot of artifacts, but it's down in the Vatican. It's down in the basement of the Vatican. They said the basement of the Vatican is larger than the biggest city in the world. Underneath the Vatican, though, that's great, and it goes down so deep, it's ridiculous. They said they got so many boats down there, it's unbelievable. Right? So that's why, though. Right? Right?
Khan, those who survived the attacks were sold into slavery, and with hundreds, if not thousands of native Indians slaughtered and murdered, the governor Bradford deemed it appropriate to call it Thanksgiving to celebrate their victory.
Celebrate their victory. So now while we think that we're celebrating a family holiday, we're literally celebrating the rape, rob, and murdering of our own people. And our people don't even get it. Like when we tell them, they're like, well, it's the only time that I can kind of see my family. Like I said earlier, it's 364 other days.
Yep.
You can go see your family any other day, but you're choosing these days.
Yep.
The days that they literally are bragging in their face.
All right.
But it's because of our ignorance, man.
All right. Better yet, you could use the holy days in Leviticus.
Come on, brother. Because if you really believe in God and you trust and love God, won't you keep the days? Because if Christ did it,
Right.
then if you say you're a follower of Christ,
Right.
shouldn't you kind of do the things he did?
Right. Just like you said, he come not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it.
But to fulfill it, man.
That's right. That's right.
And we should be fulfilling the things he did.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Khan, they stole and seized the land from the natives, capturing strong young native Indians for slaves and killing the rest. The Native Indian War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while their terrified women and children who huddled inside their houses were burned alive.
Hey, think about when that happened. Like, bring this out real quick and just think about that. Jim, I ask you a question.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and verse 5. Verse 15. That which has been is now,
See, so that which has been is now. Go ahead.
and that which is to be have already been.
Right.
And God required that which is past.
And what do God require?
God required that which is past.
Because think about it. When do you see families by themselves where the women are shaken and scared? Because we remember it back in the 50s and the 40s, right? When they did it to the black men, right? When they say, oh, well, he raped that little girl, even though she didn't get raped by him. Now all of a sudden they're gonna run, they're gonna lynch him and kill him. And now the woman and her children are in the house scared. Then now, fast forward, that one brother that they ran up in his house and they shot him right in front of his family. Well, I don't think it was his family, but it was his wife because he's in the service. But they do it all the time. That's why I put that scripture, because he said he required that a past. It's just an endless cycle. It just keeps happening. When will our people recognize what the Most High is showing us? Why do we got to keep on going through the same things? Or is we going to wake up and say, the heck with this? We're going to raise our children like you do. We're going to raise our children in righteousness. We're going to get them in this law. We're going to keep the law so it could be a righteous example for them. Right? Bring it on, King.
Khan, continue reading from the origins of Thanksgiving. Those who came out were shot, clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside their hut houses were burned alive. The next day, Governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered.
And that's the same thing they did in Wilmington. Tulsa, remember Tulsa, Oklahoma? Same thing. Durham. Because see, those were the three most prominent black areas. Then there was another one. A lot of people don't know, because I'm from Michigan, but it was because Outkast made a movie on it. Dang, I can't remember that thing. It was in the north, because they actually said that it was Black Paradise. They literally called it Black Paradise. Where's my phone, man? I gotta look this up, man, because it was one of the most prominent black places too, where actually anybody of money actually went there to vacation, right? I gotta find this real quick, man.
What part of Michigan you
I'm from Battle Creek, Michigan.
from?
Yeah. You from Detroit? See? It's just small, man. Damn. Let me read some more of that. I'm gonna look this up.
Con, when Christopher Columbus invaded America in 1492, on his quest for silver and gold, the native population was numbered at an estimated 15 million plus, who lived north of current-day Mexico. It was by all means considered a very advanced and thriving civilization. 350 years later, the Native American population of North Mexico would be reduced to around 500,000. This genocide was brought upon the natives by systematic mass murder and slaughter by Europeans.
By Europeans, man. It was called Idlewild.
It went from 15 million to about 500,000 in 300 years.
300 years, man. Right? And it was called Idlewild. They literally got signs and everything still up where people go and they check it out. Outcast Midnight. And that's where it was made at. Because it literally, like, if you were a middle class, so-called black person, when you went on vacation, because they had what was called the Green Book. I don't know if people saw that movie, The Green Book, but it showed you any place that we could stop for gas, for lodging, for hotel rooms, and then vacation spots. Right, those would be the places. Like, bring out the book of Daniel chapter 9 and verse 12. Right, because you got to start putting the dots together. The so-called blacks, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans, right? Because the Spaniards did the same thing to the Native Americans. I mean, to the so-called Spaniards. I mean, the Hispanics, right? Daniel chapter 9 and verse 12, right? Because we got to understand when we start putting this puzzle together, and we know that we're all one people, then you start putting the depth of the Native Americans, the depth of the blacks, and the depth of the Hispanics together, and you start realizing that this scripture happened.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 12. And he have confirmed his words, and he spake against us, and against our judges that judge us, by bringing up us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
And Jerusalem will be Israel, right? A great evil. Nobody can say that they've had slavery, right? They can try to say it, but we know that was indentured servitude, which means that at the end of your time, whatever agreement, whatever contract that you read, right? We know that at the end of that time, that person had to pay you whatever that they agreed to, and you get your freedom. But yet we're still in captivity, right? And Deuteronomy 28:68. Hey, can you give me Baruch 3 and 8? Baruch 3 and 8. Hey, because at the end of the day, man, hey, we know that according to the scriptures that we're still in captivity. How do you know you're in captivity, man? How do you know you're in captivity? I know bro got a precept he about to bring out. But why you got it? Baruch, you about to get Baruch 3 and 8? I didn't know if you had another precept. No, you got it? Right, because hey, at the end of the day, man, hey, the scriptures literally tell us. If you want to teach, bro? You want to teach?
It won't be that long.
Huh?
Yeah.
3 and 8. Right, Baruch 3 and 8, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
So literally, the subject of what's being talked about is we're yet this day in our captivity. It's going to give you a definition of what it means when you're in captivity. Go ahead.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach.
So a reproach means, right? You're being ridiculed. You're being talked about. Go ahead.
And a curse.
And a what?
And a curse.
Right.
And to be subject to payment.
And be subject to what?
Subject to payment.
Right, because I guarantee you, the taxes that we get, you can even look it up. They're red line areas. So when we go to get a loan from the bank, the interest level rate on our loans are way higher than interest rates on any other nation loan. And that's how we know. And to be subject to payments, right? What I think?
I'm gonna read this precept, I'm gonna read a passage on the match this, because this is crazy. This is the three holy children, and it reads, wherefore all, three holy children, verse 8, Salakia. Wherefore all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment. And thou didst deliver us unto the hands of the lawless enemies, most hateful, forsakers of God, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world.
That's crazy, man. And we know because he said Esau, he's wicked. For one morsel of meat, he sold his birthright. Why would you sell your birthright for a morsel of meat? And then he said at the end of that, the key part was he said, and he found no place of repentance. Although he's sodden with tears, right? That means he tried to conjure it up, made his face look ugly, tried to squeeze one little tear out, but he couldn't do it. And you know how like a kid, when a kid know they did wrong, and they try to, daddy, and you know they really ain't crying, they just whining, right? Try to squeeze that thing out. Let's bring this up.
This is going into the evil of European and Spanish colonists. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. Women and children over 14 years of age were sold into slavery while the rest was murdered. Boatload slave ships with as many as 500 slaves regularly leave the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. Following an especially successful raid against the Pequot Indians, churches in Stamford, Connecticut, the churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the native Indians. During the feasting, they hacked off the heads of the natives, were kicked through the streets. Thus the game of soccer was born. Like balls, even the friendly Wampanoag didn't escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years.
24 years, man.
Damn.
Right? So how you doing, Elder? So we telling the truth about this actual holiday, about the rape, rob, and murder of the indigenous people of America, right?
What about the day after Black Friday?
Absolutely. That's what we were just bringing that out. It's literally the sale of 12 slaves on the discount that was injured. That's great. Hey, that's the spirit.
Discounted slaves.
Discounted slaves, right? So I'm gonna let the next speaker speak. But hey, Elder, I'm glad you came up. Go ahead and go. All praise to the Most High, man. Give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
This is when you needed the
Praise
Django.
you, praise you. So King.